Day 23. The Queen of Heaven and the Kingdom of the Divine Will. The first hour of sorrow sounds. A star with mute voice calls the Magi to adore Jesus. A prophet is made revealer of the sorrows of the sovereign Queen. The soul to its Queen Mother. My sweetest Mother, here I am again beside your knees. The child of yours cannot go on without you, my mother. The sweet enchantment of the heavenly little baby that you now hold tightly in your arms, and then adore and love in the manger while you are genuflected before him, enraptures me. Realizing that your happy lot and that of the little king himself are none other than the fruits and sweet and precious pledges of that fiat which extends its kingdom in you. O Mother, give me your word that you will use your power to form me in the kingdom of the divine will. Lesson of my Heavenly Mother. My dearest daughter, how content I am to have you beside me, to be able to teach you how the kingdom of the divine will can be extended in all things. All the crosses, the sorrows, the humiliations, invested with the life of its divine fiat, are as prime matter in its hands to feed its kingdom and extend it always more. Therefore, pay attention and listen to your mother. I continued my life in the grotto of Bethlehem with Jesus and the dear Saint Joseph. How happy we were! That little grotto, the divine infant being there and the divine will operating in us, was changed into paradise. It is true that pains and tears were not lacking to us, but compared to the immense seas of joys, of happiness, of light that the divine fiat made arise in our every act, they were scarcely little drops cast into these seas. And then the sweet and amiable presence of my dear son was one of greatest happiness. Now, dear child, you must know that the 8th day of the heavenly baby arrived, since he was born to the light of day, and the divine fiat sounded the hour of sorrow, commanding us to circumcise the charming little baby boy. It was a most dolorous cut to which the little Jesus had to be subjected. It was the law of those times that all the firstborn had to undergo this painful cut. It can be called law of sin, and my son was innocent, and his law was the law of love. But with all that, since he came finding man not king, but man degraded, to become a brother to him and to raise him up, it was necessary to degrade himself and submit himself to the law. My daughter, Saint Joseph and I felt a tremor of sorrow, but undaunted and without hesitating, we called the minister and let him be circumcised with the most dolorous cut. At the bitter pain, the baby Jesus cried and threw himself in my arms, asking me for help. Saint Joseph and I mixed our tears with his. The first blood shed by Jesus for love of creatures was collected. He was given the name of Jesus, powerful name that makes heaven and earth tremble and hell itself. Name that should be the balsam, the defense, the help of every heart. Now, my child, this cut was the image of the cruel cut that man had made to his soul by doing his own will, and my dear son let this cut be made to him in order to heal the harsh cut of the human wills, to heal with his blood the so many wounds which the human will had produced in creatures. Since each act of human will is a cut that is made and a wound which opens, the heavenly baby with his painful cut prepared the remedy for all human wounds. Now, my child, another surprise. A new star shines under the vault of the heavens, and with its light goes searching for adorers to conduct them to recognize and adore the baby Jesus. 3 personages, each distant from the other, became struck and, invested with supernal light, followed the star which led them into the grotto of Bethlehem at the feet of the baby Jesus. But that was not the marvel of these Magi kings, in recognizing in that divine infant the King of heaven and earth, he who came to love and save everyone, because in the act which the Magi adored him, enraptured by that celestial beauty, the newborn baby made his divinity shine forth from his little humanity, and the grotto was changed into paradise, so much so that they did not know how to detach themselves from the feet of the divine infant. If he had not withdrawn again the light of his divinity into his humanity, and I, exercising the office of mother, spoke at length about the descent of the Word, and I fortified them in faith, hope, and charity, symbol of their gifts offered to Jesus. Full of joy, they returned to their regions to be the first propagators. My dear child, do not leave my side. Follow me everywhere. It has now been 40 days since the birth of the little King Jesus, and the divine fiat calls us at the time to carry out the law of the presentation of my son. Well, we went to the temple. It was the first time that I went out with my sweet little baby. A vein of sorrow opened in my heart. I went to offer him victim for the salvation of everyone. And so we entered the temple, and first we adored the divine majesty. Then we called the priest and placed him in his arms and made the offering of the heavenly baby to the eternal Father, offering him in sacrifice for the salvation of everyone. The priest was Simeon. And as I placed him in his arms, he recognized that he was the divine word and exulted with immense joy. After the offering, assuming the role of prophet, he prophesied all my sorrows. Oh, how the supreme fiat sang full peal upon my maternal heart, with vibrant sound, the fatal tragedy of all the pains of my baby son. But what most transfixed my heart were the words which the holy prophet said to me, namely, "This dear little baby will be the salvation and the ruin of many, and he will be the target of contradictions." If the divine volition had not sustained me, I would have died that instant of pure sorrow. Instead, it gave me life and made use of it to form in me the kingdom of sorrows within the kingdom of its own will. So that right of mother which I had over everyone, I acquired the right of mother and queen of all sorrows. Ah yes, with my sorrows I acquired the money to pay the debts of my children and even of the ungrateful children. Now my child, you must know that in the light of the divine will, I already knew all the sorrows that must come my way, and even more than those which the holy prophet told me. But in that so solemn act of offering my son, to hear it repeated to me, I felt so transfixed that my heart bled and opened deep rents in my soul. Now, listen to your mother. In your pains and the sorrowful encounters which will not be lacking to you, never lose heart, but with heroic love let the divine volition take its royal place in your pain, so that you may convert them into money of infinite value, with which you can pay the debts of your brothers, to ransom them from the slavery of the human will, to let them re-enter as free sons into the kingdom of the divine fiat. The soul to the Holy Mother. Holy Mother, into your transfixed heart I place all my pains, and you know how to then transfix my heart. Oh, be a mother to me and pour into my heart the balsam of your sorrows, so that I may have your same lot of making use of my pains as money to conquer the kingdom of the divine will. Little flower of the day. Today, to honor me, you will come into my arms, so that I can pour in you the first blood that the heavenly little baby shed to heal your wounds that your human will has made in you, and you will make 3 acts of love to mitigate the agony of the wound of the little baby. Exclamation. My mother, pour your sorrow into my soul and convert all my pains into will of God.